Wanadhani ya si bongo lala.
Tumejamu sijifanye uja notice.
Wanadhani ya si bongo lala.
Tumejamu sijifanye uja notice.
Wambie punde imechoka sana.
Tumejamu sijifanye uja notice.
Wambie punde imechoka sana.
Tumejamu sijifanye uja notice.
Get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready.
Nauliza aje, hawa KDF wenye tulikuwa tunatetea about food subsidy ndo wanatembea nyuma ya youth wakiwapiga marisasi, si ndio? Kaongo Defense Forces. Fanya hivi, toa hata hiyo ya bombe. Chakula, shaka. Chakuteremshia, shaka. Itilafu. Yeah, and I'm mad. Women activism. I am very proud of every woman who is carrying out any kind of activism, especially right now when the world just looks like a crumb of paper that can be swooped away by wind.
Anger, frustration, nimetukanana hapa hivi, Ruto pops up and I just insulted the screen automatically. The tears, I've cried because just seeing that mother by the graveside, speechless. You know, if you were to ask me what justice looks like in Kenya, I don't know what it looks like. I really don't. Because families, friends, extended families, the whole of Kenya, their wounds have been reopened and they're seeing this. And quote unquote, it's a bit of closure, just a bit to know who exactly shot who. But you see now their faces are out here. So is there going to be justice? Are they going to be held to account? Because even as you watch towards the end of the video, they were like, yeah, we called government to changia si walilenga. KDF, netting. Nobody is saying nothing. But lo and behold, the stupid bloggers, stupid, foolish, idiotic bloggers have something to say. When your own people that you're supporting have nothing to say. Were even called to participate in this documentary. And then the stupid bloggers have that to go and say. But that doesn't matter. They are gone. Their children are gone. They're never going to come back. And all they can ask for is justice. BBC have just covered, like, can I say the tip of the iceberg? I saw everything that happened in this country. There was so much more that happened. Remember, there were abductions. I got even more peace because I remember the fact that mtu alienda China kaongea trash. And the people he talked trash about, he went over there, Vatican. And I'm thinking, in fact, you're not supposed to go to Vatican. You were never invited. Hata kandoli yako haikuwaka.
Just watched Blood Parliament, the documentary that was released by Africa BBCI. I have issues. Number one, I have learned the power of OSINT, open source intelligence, that was used by BBC to pinpoint the cops that were used to shoot at young people. My question, though, is why are our investigative bodies not using OSINT or whatever technology that Kenya has to catch the police that killed the young people? Why am I saying the police? According to the documentary we have seen, even our very own KDF officers allegedly were used to shoot. We have seen a man who shot, a military officer who shot a young man at a range of 25 meters. Why would our police officer or the military that is supposed to protect us against external aggressors kill young people who are fighting for their rights or demanding for better governance? Very good question. Number three, why hasn't IPOA put out a case against these police officers? I mean, if a media house can track the police officers that shot at young people, why is it hard for the investigative body that is IPOA? The other thing I'm very concerned about is the freedom of media. If this story had been done by a local media station, would the journalists survive? Because even BBC did not put credits of the local journalists used in that investigation. Why? Fear of harassment. Why is it so hard that we speak about freedom of expression and speech, and yet in such issues like that, we are afraid because we know what would happen? The other question that I'm questioning is also now towards BBC. Why the release at this point? One, is it because our president was in China and perhaps maybe has decided to look to the west, to the east, that is China, because he made deals with China a week ago, that now the BBC has decided we are hitting back? Could it be a world war against powers, and then we Kenyans imagine it's about the people? I don't know. These are just my thoughts, and the reaction. All I hope is that as a country we can do better and stop killing people, but rather listen to people and act.
I just finished watching Blood Parliament by BBC, the documentary, and let me tell you one thing. If you think if you think violence means the system is breaking, you need to think again, because the violence is the system working. People have been highlighted in the documentary, but we all know the numbers are more than that. And any one of us during EO protest, any one of us in the line of sight of power, any one of us could have been those 3 people. Any one of us. That sisi ndio tumemanage to survive. What do we plan to do with this? Because whatever we have done already, we have showed the anger, we have rage, and that's good. But vitu zilipita, finance bill ilipita. That means we need to change our strategy. It might be too radical for me to say this, but we don't need a revolution. In my opinion, revolution only recycles the same elite structures under new flags, capes, symbols, and even generations of people. But that's not something I think people are ready to discuss about. So we need to learn what to do within the system that we are in right now. Understand what the system fears. And what does it fear? It doesn't fear angry people because you can be neutralized. It fears people who have organized themselves because they are organizing every single day. They have strategy every single day. We need to organize. I'll tell you one thing, 2027 is not far away. The system's clock is not our clock. If we wait until 2027, just know to shall lose. We need to build power structures. Ndo tufike elections, iache kukua formality, ikwe a battleground. I would argue that we need a lot more than protest. A lot more than protest. And that is like the big chunk of the work sasa. Because we need to do like robust civic education. Junajua hapa Nairobi tumechangamka, tumejumuika kwa hii maneno. But kule rural, not everyone has an access to smartphones. Some people don't know this BBC documentary imetoka. They have no idea. There are people who are not on social media. They have no idea. We need to mobilize for civic education. What we're aware. And this is what they're banking on you not to do because they can take advantage. Already know that youths have not been like that engaged in politics. And interestingly, data shows that men from the ages of like 23, 25, all the way to like 35, talk a lot about politics. Like in the political sphere, they will talk. But somehow it doesn't reflect in the voting data. They are not there. They're not there. Politicians know at the end of the day who their reliable voting bloc is, and that is the elderly and women. Just to show you that hata ukipiga kelele aje kama kijana, like a young person, it means nothing to them until you are able to organize and mobilize all these other people into the picture and translate all of that into votes. Next, we need a proper economic like safety net of sorts, because this will ensure that the movement does not starve, and this will also ensure that we maintain our independence. Watu hawanunuliwi. In many successful revolutions around the world, we have seen collaboration within the classes, and the most like notable class enye inakuanga imesaidia kwa hizi revolution inakuanga the middle class. We need to find a way to rope in the middle class into the movement. Because until they are pinched, we can only go so far. And lastly, we need a long memory. Long memory. Because it has just become apparent that ever since last year to now, ndio watu wanaanza kukumbuka, tuliandamana. Watu washabebwa already in local politics and these side shows that are meant to distract you from thinking about the critical things that we need to do for this movement. And without this, we will just remain stuck in the same never-ending cycle. Protesting, people die, things continue. Itaendelea. We will be stuck in that loop. We need to organize.
Ndo naambiwa chai ya State House inaonja shubiri. Ndo nangoja mpaka ionje mwarubanne. From the party not paying taxes to the BBC really showing us administrative units of the KK regime raining bullets on children. They are children. In the middle of the day, harmless children I got so shocked when I saw a part where someone who has that either patches the KDF really giving hints of taking part in shooting one of the youth who was in parliament. Since when was the military locally deployed to harm their own citizens? Ebu. And I think the BBC are so smart. This is not a coincidence. You just can't. Huwezi kuja kutia chumvi kwenye kidonda 2 months before the dimwits we sent to parliament sit and propose a new bill, a new finance bill, to continue milking us dry in an economy that does not have money circulation, but for some reason they need more taxes. If that didn't make you mad enough, then our entire country is sick. Tuko ICU. Tumeshikiliwa na life support. Yeah.
Watching the BBC documentary is very emotional because we woke up on June 25th with our flag, the love for this country and a hope for a better country. We did not see each other along tribal lines, along political parties, along socio-economic status. We had one voice, one agenda. But if the young people that lost their lives on June 25th were to address us right now, would they be proud of the sacrifice they gave us, or would they be ashamed and disgusted of who we have become now? Have we forgotten and allowed the political class to divide us along political parties, along tribal lines? Have we forgotten we need to rise above their noise and do better, because our decision for 2022, our decision to give the people that we have now the instruments of power, led to this bloodshed? The KDF may have fired those guns, but our blood parliament and our choices in 2022 loaded those guns. And so what are we doing so that we ensure we never make those mistakes again and no more lives are lost ever again?
So guys, BBC release your documentary. Na sijui kama you have taken 30 minutes of your life to go and watch it. Mimi nimewatch back at the 11th minute. And yo, yani umse akirudi, mimi nitaamini tu ya. Guy, the 11th minute ilikuwa it's a photo yenye imeonyeshana huyo jamaa mwenye alishutiwa hapo nje hivi, and the presenter is saying that a photographer took this and the photographer didn't know he was taking the last 3 seconds of this man's life. Calm my chest down, it's getting hotter, but look at the document and read. Ebu go and watch it. Enda to watch ndio upate tu tunafaa to watch before elections. So guys, I've finished watching the documentary and there's this guy and I don't know why we didn't know him. Anaitwa Ademba. Yani, oh my God. Wow. He was the one rescuing everyone. Like, unajua kuna watu wenye walikuwa shot na they didn't die. Kuna watu hawakuwa shot kwa the head. Kuna watu walikuwa shot miguu, mikono. He was the one anabaki nyuma akiwabeba. Imagine. In the midst of that tense environment, he would go back for them. Oh my God. Aki, may God bless you. Kwa sababu there is nothing we can give you that can... Oh my, I don't know. Ademba. We are proud of you. You are a hero. Anyway, kindly go and watch that documentary. Enter to YouTube, search BBC Africa. It is the first video on top. It is Blood Parliament. Watch the video. Thank me later.
Oh guys, the BBC Africa documentary just reopened wounds. It's so bad. And let me tell you guys, whatever happened last year was so bad. I have never watched news since then. Like, I was a person who watched news every single day. I bought a TV when I was in campus just to watch news and like know what's going on in the country and stuff. But kwanzia 25th of July, whatever they did to us, whatever they did to our brothers and sisters, disoriented me. And I swore that I detached from this country. Like I said, the only time I'm going to rise up is when we're fighting against whatever this is. And like, it just reopened wounds. It's just absurd. Ukiona hiyo unasikia kuamka turudi. But it's bad.
So guys, I have watched that documentary now 3 times. 3 times. Na wewe hujaona hata mara moja. Ebu take only 30 minutes of your life. Enda multiply hasira. Kwa sababu, I cannot imagine. Anyway, what I have taken home, record. Anything, wewe record. That's why we were recording. Record. Because you see that whole thing, hakuna mahali BBC walishoot na kamera yao. They have taken recordings, videos, photos from people who are live streaming, people who recorded and posted, people who took photos. Wewe record. Yani hasira chem. Roho inadunda at 30 megabits per hour. Kai. Sitaki kuongea mengi, lakini kwa sasa 30 minutes of your time, enda to YouTube, search BBC Africa. Kwa sababu kuna tu hints hapa na pale ati inaweza kuwa banned, anga inaweza kuwa. Kindly make sure you have laid your eyes before todo. So guys, at this point, yeah, the hate I have for this man. Mimi naona hata naweza taka tu kwenda kwa shetani nione akiungua. Nikae tu hapo kando nimwangalia akiungua kwa sababu endo watch BBC. Enda tu uone hiyo documentary. Kwanza kama wewe ni mtu wa 10 bila sijui bump ama mnaiita bila nini, hiyo yenye mnasema hiyo sijui mnasema nini. Enda BBC. Uone sahi. Thanks.
Well, I have just watched the BBC documentary about how people were killed on like maandamano when they were breaking into parliament. And I literally have no words. BBC Africa have exposed what police would have taken 10 years to investigate. I don't know if it's the issue is the police, or that hiyo kitu yenye ina investigate it's not supposed to be found out. But these people have already exposed them. Go and watch that documentary on YouTube and it will move you. It is very sad. It shows you step by step and it shows you the pictures of the people who are killed, and it's so moving what these people in government have done. Yeah, but this documentary gives me hope, because even as Kenya and the political ruling class do whatever they want to do, the world is still watching. And that makes me have like a small bit of hope, because at least those people who died will be avenged. Not all of them, but they will be avenged. Because you will see that documentary that actual KDF police officers were deployed. And there's one police officer who is shouting, kill them. Wawe. There's no mistake. I'm not talking about it was by mistake, they were just trying to know. He said, kill them. That's how bad it is. Go and watch that documentary on YouTube and tell me about it in the comments.
Since the Kenyan government refused to arrest or give up the name of people involved in unaliving Kenyan Gen Zs during Occupy Parliament 2024, BBC is revealing everything by giving up the name, time, and where they did it. So we will start with Elixon Mulisia, 25-year student, and David Chege, 39 years, a father, and he owned his own business. And down here is John Kaboy. This is the police who ordered the fellow police to unalive people, not to chase them away, but to unalive. He was shouting, "Ua, ua," this means unalive, unalive. And because of this, because of him shouting like that, there's another police who bent down and set himself to start unaliving people. And in the process, these two guys, they were unalived there and there because of this guy. Yet the Kenyan government continued to say that people who were unalived that time, they were all goons. Were these goons? No. BBC News did their investigations and found out everything. They were using photos, pictures, live streams to do all their investigation and to find out the light time. To find out the light time, they used metadata.
Wase, we are on our own. We are on our own. KDF
tunawalipa mishahara, tunawanunulia hizo uniform mnavaa, mpaka hizo bude, it's our taxes. Then you come and bullet us and you kill us like this? Kai, wananchi, we are on our own. Have you watched this documentary? Iko out. Have you watched it? Hey, this is fucked up than we ever thought. Hakuna mtu angefikiria tutafika hapa as a country. And how did we even get here? Tuko hapa aje? KDF wenye wanafaa kutu protect sisi wananchi. Responsibility yenu ni kuprotect wananchi na country yao. Nyinyi ndo mnatubada. Kai, BBC Africa, thank you. Guys, this is a must watch documentary. Ishatoka. And then pale YouTube, just go and watch it.
It's one thing to have the president betray you and call you a bunch of organized criminals for fighting for your rights in the streets. It's another for police officers to treat you as such. But to have the KDF being part of this brutality, now that's crazy. I don't know how we are coming out of this.
Kiongozi wa Kenya Kwanza ni nani? Ni Ruto. Kwa hivyo shetani katika hii Kenya ni nani? Ni Ruto. Na ueleze mpaka mjilani yako, ueleze mtoto wako, ueleze mtuku wako aelewe kwamba shetani wa Kenya ni nani? Ni Ruto. Kwa hivyo kila siku asubuhi ukiamka unasema ashindwe.
Na vitu zina happen in country ikifika 2027 na uko 18 plus tukupate bila kura. Ai! Utatuambia unaishi wapi? Utatuambia unataka nani apeleke Ruto nyumbani?
Huyu Ruto mumwambie tumechoka naye. Kama inatakana tubadilishe katiba ni kupunguza miaka ya Ruto, sio kuongeza atifike 7. We cannot wait to get an opportunity kutuma huyu mtu nyumbani kwa sababu kazi imemshinda. Ruto tunataka kwanza kupunguza term yake. Kama ingewezekana hii mwaka ingeisha kama huyu mtu amekaa kwa hiyo kiti. Aende nyumbani, kazi imemshinda.
You like me, why them a fight me? You like me, chewing a bone, a bite. We don't trust them even if we bust them. We don't trust them, stay far, not touch them. We don't trust them, hope their man a sub them. Informer me say you must them.